NTG Golfman.
Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to Golfman's Gunnery Guide, the bare basics, where I show you the bare minimum you need to know to improve your gunnery in World of Warships. First thing you're going to want to do is enable your full alternative interface in the in-game settings. To do this, hit your escape key, navigate to Settings, Controls, and look at the bottom where there is a drop-down labeled Alternative Interface Mode. Select the drop-down option that says Full. This option always provides you with your distance to target as well as your shell travel time. When this option is not enabled, this information is only available to you when you hold down your Alt key in-game. To select a reticle, find the Select Crosshair button under the Controls tab. When selecting your reticle without any mods applied to your game, I would recommend you use a static reticle. The reason for this being, the in-game dynamic reticle is just not very useful. Of the static reticles, I recommend you use one that provides reference tick marks for a ship traveling at both 20 and 30 knots, just like the one you see on your screen now, which is static crosshair type 11. You can see the two different sets of numbers. The top set indicates lead for a 30-knot target, and the bottom set indicates lead for a 20-knot target. Keep in mind the calibration for this reticle is as follows. Your distance is 12 kilometers. Your target is roughly battleship size, and your point of reference with regard to your lead timer is the bow of the targeted ship, while the shells you fire will land at the center of the enemy ship. The consequence of this is that you will have to underlead your target if they are within 12 kilometers, and overlead your target if they are outside of 12 kilometers. In addition, if the ship you are targeting is smaller than a battleship, you must also overlead them pretending they were the size of a battleship. So it works like this. For a ship that you are targeting that is battleship size, and is moving at roughly 20 knots at a range of roughly 12 kilometers, given that you have a shell travel time of, for example, 7 seconds, you want to line up the 7-second tick mark in the 20-knot set with the bow of the target ship. The center line of the reticle should be lined up with the water line of the enemy ship, supposing you intend to strike the ship at the water line. If you are firing high explosive at a superstructure, for example, you may have to aim slightly farther so your shells actually reach the enemy superstructure. In this example here, you can see that my shell travel time is approximately 6.2 seconds, and my distance to target is 11.3 kilometers. Since my target is a battleship, and is therefore of battleship size, and moves at a top speed of roughly 20 knots, you will see that I give my target true lead. More than any of this, my top recommendation is that everyone downloads World of Warships Modstation, the link to which you'll find in the description of this video. On the first page of your World of Warships Modstation, you will see something called a Nomogram crosshair. The Nomogram crosshair is incredibly useful because its lead timer and tick marks are variable depending on the distance of the target, and your point of reference is no longer the bow of the enemy ship, but instead the location of the tick mark itself. When you lock onto a target, your reticle's lead tick marks will lock to the range of the enemy ship. This means that you no longer must compensate for your reticle being locked at a 12-kilometer reference range, and you do not have to line up the tick mark with the enemy's bow, but rather the section of the ship you intend to strike. The size of the ship is no longer a factor you must consider. However, keep in mind that this reticle does not account for your target speed, as that would be considered an aimbot. Just like most idea math formulas, however, it is only in a certain ideal circumstance where you can simply input the information you have, use the reticle as your formula, and come out the other end with the result you want. Here are the pieces of information you need to know to make effective use of your reticle. First, the target's maximum speed, which is something I suggest you spend some time memorizing. Exact values are not necessary, but having a general idea of the top speed of the ship you are targeting will help you tremendously. Second, the target's current speed and acceleration. Is the target moving at full speed? Is he accelerating? Is he decelerating? Finally, the orientation of the target relative to your line of sight. All of this information, and the reticle itself, is only perfectly effective when your target's course is exactly perpendicular to your line of sight, or in other words, he's showing you perfect broadside. So why is it important to know this information? Well, all this information goes into determining exactly how you lead the target. Most of these details I'll be getting into in my next Beginner's Gunnery Guide video. However, for today I will say that the maximum lead time is important because it allows you to lead the target effectively when they're traveling in this ideal scenario that I've just spoken about. Knowing the ship's acceleration is also very important, as it will allow you to make predictive guesses about how to lead your target if they are accelerating. If a target is moving at half speed, you obviously need to give half as much lead as if the target were going at full speed. Finally, the angle of orientation between your line of sight and the target is also a huge factor in determining how much horizontal lead you must give and how much vertical lead you must give. Again, more of this we will be covering in the next video. Thank you so much for watching my gunnery guide. If you found this helpful, please consider leaving a like, and subscribe to my channel for more beginner's guides and other World of Warships content. To catch me live, drop a follow at twitch.tv/ntggolfman. Until next time, folks.